Hello, Prowl here, and today I'm here to both make a plea to Jeb and Agnes at Mojang, and to also inform all of you of some really terrible things going on with Bedrock Edition currently. The game is currently so broken that it's unplayable for myself and many other PC players and PlayStation players currently, with worlds getting deleted or corrupted, crazy mouse and controller snapping issues, a huge memory leak that was known about but pushed live anyways, and a lot more. I'm going to show you some of these issues. I'm going to show you some information I found regarding company layoffs and potential AI use that may be leading to these issues. This part is a little speculative on my part. And I want to show you how this isn't just a one-time thing, but rather a thing that has been getting progressively worse over time, as I have probably a dozen or so examples going throughout the last year of issues that have been bad that have made it to the live game. I want to talk a bit about Bedrock Edition versus Java Edition, and I want to talk about the complete absence of communication from anywhere inside of Mojang about any of these issues. In fact, the communication is so bad, I got a reply from Simon, the owner of Hypixel, the very popular Minecraft servers, who has recently bought back Hypixel Studios and Hytale from Riot Games to save the recently canceled Hytale and final release of it. Yes, the owner of another major game studio is communicating about these issues more than Mojang is. Here's just a recent tweet thread that I jumped into where Simon said something, and I told him about some of the issues that Bedrock is having, and he actually asked, what's going on? This one post right here, what's going on, is more than anybody anywhere inside of Mojang has done publicly about these issues. This one post, these 3 words with a question mark, is more. And before we hop into talking about what's causing these issues, I thought I would show one that I just literally saw while loading up. I don't know what these weird textures are, but look, there's some weird textures popping up right here and right here. I've been having crazy graphical glitches like this. I'm going to show you some of them a little bit later. Let's go ahead and hop into first. What do I think is actually caused? What is the root cause? What's happening? At least in my opinion. Oh, and here, I have another one right here. Look at what the menus are doing. Yeah. Yep. This is all par for the course with Minecraft Bedrock Edition right now. So first I wanted to talk about this article that I found. I'd seen a similar article back when this happened. I couldn't find the original article, but I did find this one. This was back in July, where Microsoft laid off 9,000 employees, including some from many of the development studios that they own, like Mojang. And let me see if I can find it here. Yes, the quality assurance team at Minecraft developer Mojang has reportedly been hit with layoffs. So this is reportedly, so I don't want to speak about this as though it's 100% fact, but I saw a couple articles report about this. And the other one I had seen had specifically, I think, called out the Redmond office, which is the Bedrock team is in Redmond, Washington, had been hit with these specific layoffs. And this would kind of track with some of the issues, actually the issues being bigger lately than they have been in the past, with the fact that maybe there's not as many people on the QA team as there has been in the past looking for these issues before they go from beta to live. But this ties into, and is even more troubling, this is actually sent to me by somebody that is a lead moderator on the Minecraft Bedrock Edition bug tracker site. And I thought it would be interesting to take a look. We're only going to listen to about the first minute of this, but this comes from a very reputable account. This guy's reported on a lot of this stuff in the past. I've seen some of his videos, and they always come with facts and accuracy. So let's go ahead and take a look.
This is going to be fun. Xbox is worth $23.46 billion a year to Microsoft, and that actually doesn't matter. So here's why it's kind of terrifying. Microsoft can make brutal cuts to their gaming division because it doesn't matter, not compared to where Microsoft wants to go. They can cut hundreds of developers, maybe thousands, and that's happened all in the last few years. The reason why?
One of our issues
is gargantuan. And those billions that Xbox makes, they're just 8.8% of Microsoft's
8.8%
total revenue.
is the total amount that gaming is worth.
In their budget. Staff are just numbers in a spreadsheet. That's how it is when your headcount is like 200,000 people. But that's all vibes. Do you know what's concrete? Leaked memos that we've read that suggest something worse. That staff need to use AI daily, literally daily, right? They need to do that to keep Microsoft happy.
So that's the part I really wanted you to listen to. So this is a leaked memo. It doesn't say that any particular game studio has to use AI daily. It doesn't say in what capacity AI is being used. But this is our first hint of what could potentially be going wrong. Is AI being used to write code, or is it being used in the bug fixing process. Where is it possibly being used? I've seen some users comment on, and I don't have the information here, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I've seen some users even report that it looks like the bug tracker is being parsed by AI just due to how these bugs are sometimes immediately getting marked and how they're being kind of grouped up together. And then another line that we can possibly connect here is if they got rid of people on the QA team, then did they do that and then replace some of those people with AI or AI tools that the people remaining on those teams are now using to check these updates before they go live? And I'm going to tie all this together into why I think this has some credibility. Again, I don't want to speak to this as being factual, but I think it has some credibility due to some things that I'm going to show you here in a few moments. The first issue, which is one that at least for now seems to be fixed, but has literally been a bug in the game for the last, I don't know how many years, probably three plus years. It used to be anytime if you used a custom skin, just opening up Minecraft, your custom skin would always be reset. And as of like a couple weeks ago, it was actually even so bad to where if you just logged out of a world and tried to log back into one, it would change your skin. Maybe that's fixed right now. I don't know. You know what I am noticing though? Where is the bottom? Why is the aspect ratio of my screen so messed up? I have a black bar. This black bar is this is the actual game. This is not like a video editing thing. This is the game. There's a black bar down there. The second one I want to show you is that the if you're playing on PC with a mouse, the cursor is not centered to the screen anymore. Not the crosshair you see here, and you guys won't be able to see this, but if I make a 90-degree turn, I can see on my right-hand monitor my mouse cursor, and if I click, it pauses the game. So even doing something like this and turning a little bit and trying to click will actually pause my game, making the game pretty much unplayable. Not only that, if I scroll over and I'm not clicking, I'm trying to scroll my mouse wheel right now to scroll through my hotbar. I can't do it. Whenever the cursor leaves the screen, I cannot scroll my hotbar. If I move my mouse over a little bit, I can scroll. If I move it over a little bit, I cannot. So the game is pretty much unplayable in full screen currently. If anybody else is experiencing this issue, if you go to windowed mode and you make the window smaller than the screen, so I'm going to go here like this. If you do this, it does fix the issue. This will help most people playing. Doesn't really help me a lot who tries to record and stream Minecraft, but hopefully this is a fix that some of you guys can use. Now here's another bug, one that I have not personally experienced, but I know other people, including Echo Soldier, who are. And this is a bug that is actually happening on PlayStation 5 as well. All I can do is kind of mimic it, where somebody will be playing and then suddenly the mouse cursor will just snap. They'll be playing a little bit, doing whatever, and the mouse cursor will snap. And from what I understand, this happens kind of frequently. It happens regularly enough to where it, again, makes the game completely unplayable. Another one I wanted to show, but for some reason I can't right now, is tied to this improved input response. Most people, if you're playing on PC, you have improved input response turned on because it just makes your input response time a little bit better. But in the latest Minecraft preview, a couple weeks ago, I experienced this myself. Maybe 3 weeks ago, I experienced this. If the improved input response was on, the game had a huge memory leak. And a memory leak, basically what happens is the longer you play the game, the more RAM the game uses up, to the point where it uses up all of it. And then you go from a reasonable frame rate of 60, 100, 200, whatever your PC is normally capable of running. And the frame rate would go to about 1 to 3 frames per second. Here, we'll do that in a minute. So, whoa, what is this lag? What is happening? A complete slideshow, 100% unplayable. So for those that were lucky enough to know this, and if you're experiencing this and you didn't know this, what you need to do is you need to go turn improved input response off. Now here's the scary part is this is a reported bug on the bug site. This was reported and Mojang was made aware of this bug directly prior to this update coming out. When this update came out, it released with this bug intact. And the reason that this is happening, the reason a lot of these things are happening, was because Minecraft recently changed, I think the proper term, and I'm not a programmer, so if you want to correct me down in the comments, do it. They changed the file system structure of the game. It used to be, I think it's UWP was the file structure that it had been using, and they switched it over to a GDK file structure, which if you want to Google it. For many reasons, it's supposed to be a lot better, more performant. Just a lot of things are supposed to make it a lot better. But in doing that, there's been a lot of bugs, which is fine. I get it, right? If you're going to change the file structure like that, you're probably going to have like something so major, you're going to have some bugs occur from it. That's what the beta/preview is for. But here's the issue. A lot of bugs were found in the beta/preview, like the memory leak bug. And after this change had only been in beta preview for about 1 month, they pushed it live, knowing that there's bugs in it and knowing that it's a major change. It's a really, really big change that has come with a lot of other downsides. A lot of people's worlds have been deleted or moved somewhere else on their computer to where they think that they are deleted. Because with this file system change, also came a change to the location of where the files are stored on your PC. And this change only affects PC users, by the way. So basically what Mojang did was that's what that was. It was a missing texture for a lantern. The lantern's there now. That's absolutely wild. Anyway, so what Mojang did was they took what was a good decision, update the file system of the game to something that was more performant and better for everybody. They only ran it in testing for a month. A bunch of bugs for it got reported, and they rushed it through to live anyways. Not only with that, with no proper resolution or step or process for people to follow. So they moved people's world files in their PCs. They moved the game files locations. And unless you're a very plugged in user like myself, you're going to think that your worlds are just gone, that they're not there anymore because of this new thing. And can I just say, I can't underscore how terrible of a way of handling business that this is, because I can understand bugs. I can probably understand bugs more than most people in terms of it happens, right? Things happen. Sometimes things get through. But when you rush through a change that doesn't need to be rushed through, and you're changing major things with the game, including people's worlds on their PCs, and then you communicate zero about it, and you have major bug reports about these issues on your bug report tracker, and you don't care and you push it live anyways. This is where the problem is. Also, let me show you something funny. This is the Minecraft bug tracking website. Do you see any problems here? Yes, that's right. If you've been paying close attention, it's that nothing loads. Their bug tracking site has been down for at least a week that I know of, if not longer. So they're having these major problems with bugs in the game, and the bug tracking site isn't even working. You can't look up existing bugs or anything right now. So when I said funny, what I meant was actually sad. Very, very, very sad. Okay, but this isn't all. These are all the things that have just come from the last update. So in case you're wondering, okay, well, I mean, it's a one-time thing, Prowl. It's not that big of a deal. Let me go back through my Twitter timeline, because for the first time, my rage posting has done something good, at least for me. It's been useful to me in some way, because most people see me rage post about these bugs and they think, oh my God, Prowl, you're just crying about the game again. Well, Mojang's not helping the situation. They keep giving me things to complain about. Anyways, I'm not the only one having these problems. Here's a Toy Cat, a prominent, long-time Bedrock Edition content creator. It's been 2 weeks since Mojang rolled out the disaster update for Bedrock, forcing uninstalls, world deletions, and unplayable frame rates and mouse input for Windows. There is no fix even mentioned yet. Again, he's noticing the same problem I am. Not only are these problems that were known before the patch was pushed live, they're not even talking about it. The communication is zero. Okay, let's jump over here. I put in a bug report for a issue with an add-on called HoloPrint. Now, I can't really explain the behind-the-scenes stuff that happened with add-ons, but basically it had something to do with how entities are rendered, and it made this really, really good add-on that I use, HoloPrint. It's basically like Matic for Bedrock Edition. It pretty much broke it. And the creator of HoloPrint has since then been trying to go through and fix the problem on his end. And he's made little steps here and there. But overall, still a major bug. I reported this back on June 5th. I reported a bug report. I sent it directly to Mojang internally. Nothing's been done. But hey, this is just a me problem, right? Or a creator problem. This doesn't really affect everybody. Okay. The Copper Golem, brand new feature. Its pathfinding shuts down randomly when a transparent block is above a chest. I ran into this while testing the Copper Golem. This was back on October 6th. Has not been fixed yet. I would click to show you the bug report. Oh, the bug report actually comes up now. So that's interesting. So you can, if you go follow me, you can see this. Your request status is changed to resolved with resolution awaiting response. Interesting, because nothing's definitely resolved in game yet. That's for sure. This was me complaining about the skin issue. Maybe that's fixed right now. I don't know. We'll see. Here's another issue. This is actually as of the recent update. This is from my server. I run a big Bedrock Edition server. We're having corrupted chunks show up regularly after this update. Here's chunks that have just been deleted all the way down to the void. It's just empty space. We've been finding these and fixing these as we see them, but it keeps happening. And this world's only been up for about 4 months. It's not like it's a long time world or anything like that. Here's another issue I had. This was another texture issue. This is current. This is what my water looked like. It would flash like this about every 2 to 3 seconds. And this looks like lantern textures, and this looks like chain textures. No clue why my water looks like that, but you guys can see there's tons of texture issues right now. Here's a post about me talking about an issue that occurred when Vibrant Visuals released. Major issue. Vibrant Visuals had a lot of bugs that had been reported on in beta/preview, but they pushed the release of it anyways, I guess because of marketing, I don't know. But not only did it have lots of bugs, Vibrant Visuals still to this day is not compatible with any other add-ons. Just now, it's now compatible with add-ons that do not change things visually, I think. For 3 months post-release, how long is this? That's actually more than 3 months. 6 months post-release, we did not have the ability to use Vibrant Visuals with other resource packs. So if you bought actions and stuff, or many other resource packs or add-ons from the marketplace, in most cases, those did not work with Vibrant Visuals. They knew about this issue, but they pushed it anyways. And not only that, they didn't tell anybody about it. It was not communicated that, hey, like this is coming out and we're working on compatibility. No, they just pushed it live, and you just had to figure out that, oh, it's my Vibrant Visuals making this stuff not work. Or, oh, I have this pack on and that's why my Vibrant Visuals won't work. So many people were really confused about this because either the packs that they had weren't working or Vibrant Visuals wasn't working, and they had no clue how to fix the issue because they had no clue that there was an issue to begin with. Here was another major bug that existed for a few days before it was fixed. This was directly after an update. You'll see here the flashing on my screen. This would happen every single time that I loaded up a world. This was in the game for about 3 to 5 days post-release. Here is a huge issue that I complained about. This was September 28th, 2024. Mobs that were trapped on a chunk border. Like if you had them, just like if you had like say a villager or some type of mob and he was on the border of a chunk, when you loaded up your world, they would like teleport through the wall or fence. That they were beside. They would just teleport through it. So villagers that were in villager trading halls were getting out like crazy. Armor stands were falling through the ground as well. Every time you loaded up the world, armor stands would fall about 30 to 40 blocks underground before they would finally load in and get trapped under the ground. There was one where minecarts were creating ghost versions of themselves on minecart tracks. I believe this one was in for about 2 weeks. Anybody that had a minecart collection system for 1 to 2 weeks, it didn't work because minecarts were bugged out and creating like copies of themselves. There was a bug in the game for about 3 years where it would continue to rain even after the rain stopped. You could sleep or you could use commands to change the weather to clear. It wouldn't matter. It would still appear raining unless you like logged off of your world or maybe even had to close your game and reopen your game to make the rain disappear again. Even though it wasn't actually there, it would still visually appear on your screen. So this leads me where I want to kind of sum everything up here. The big problem not only is the fact that we have all of these bugs. It's been a problem. It's been called Bedrock Edition for ever since its inception, by the way. People make fun of it, but it's true. We've had these kind of issues from the start, but they've been getting progressively worse as we've gone on. And to add like insult to injury, Mojang doesn't acknowledge it at all. You can search anywhere you want, search through Twitter, whatever. there's no acknowledgement of these things being like bugs and happening. There's no communication about any of this. We've had the game broken for almost 2 weeks now. Nobody has said a word about it anywhere that I know of, and that I've seen other creators and other people don't know of. So why aren't they talking to us? This is my like plea to Agnes, my plea to Jeb. If by some crazy chance you watch this video and you don't immediately click off of it because you think it's dumb, we not only do we want you guys to fix the problem, but can you just like say something? Can you acknowledge that there is a problem? Can you apologize for there being a problem? Can you lay out some very basic generic bullet points of how you're going to fix the problem from occurring? Because I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm kind of sick and tired of it at this point. And to the point where I've been kind of just waiting for other games to come out. I'm looking at you, Hightail. I'm looking at you, Reforge. Because yeah, like I love this game, and I can't really play. I can't play it at all right now because of the issue where I turn the screen and click, it pauses my game. Like I can't even move around without the game pausing. So, and this kind of leads me into another gripe that I have. And my last thing that I want to kind of end on here is Java Edition gets treated completely differently. I try not to make this a whole Bedrock versus Java thing because I want Java Edition players to be happy with the game. I don't want their version of the game to be filled with bugs. I don't want them to experience the things that we're experiencing here. So this is not a I want this to happen to them thing. It's I want us to be treated on Bedrock Edition like Java Edition gets treated. And what I mean by that very specifically is Java Edition rarely has any big bugs. The bugs they do have usually affect like 0.1% of players. They're like weird, obscure, redstone / mechanics related bugs. And what'll happen is somebody on the Java side, a tech player, a YouTuber, whatever, they'll say something about one of these bugs happening, and within like hours, somebody at Mojang is responding to their post on Twitter. So I know that they're there. Mojang people are there, but they're all in Stockholm. They all work in Sweden. And they only play Java Edition. So they see something Java related, they jump on it immediately, they respond to it, and there's usually a patch put through up to 48 hours later. So Java Edition has minor issues. When those minor issues do occur, somebody says something about them, a Java developer will jump in and say something almost immediately, and the issue gets fixed. Almost every single time, without fail. I cannot think of a time that this has not happened. Whereas on Bedrock Edition, it's the exact opposite. Anyways, I hope somebody out there that this matters to actually hears this, or for those of you that are players of Minecraft and you're watching, hopefully this explains a little bit about what's going on, gives you some tips on how to subvert the current bugs that exist. And I don't know, man, we need to mobilize around this in some way. You guys need to get on Twitter and like actually post about stuff because there's not enough noise about these issues. And I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm kind of sick and tired of it. I'm just really annoyed by it. So anyways, if you like this video, I guess click the like button on it or whatever, share it around so people can find it, subscribe to the channel so you can hear me rant about more Bedrock Edition stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.